Let's get it. Smash those likes. Here we go. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, guys, and we are live today on FOMC Meeting Day. So start smashing those likes and get excited if you're not already, because today's the day. It's make it or break it time. Are we about to pump or are we about to dump here, guys? This is what's really going to be coming down to today, the FOMC meeting. Bitcoin has been fighting resistance. It's been rejecting setups. It's all kinds of wildness today, right? And this is what happens on FOMC meeting days. This is why FOMC meeting days usually are infamous for not a great trading day. A lot of high risk trades to happen on the FOMC meeting. A lot of whiplash, price action all over the place. So let's go take a look at Bitcoin here real quick. So before we even take a look at what Bitcoin is doing right now, which it has come down to our gold pocket. We are bouncing off this gold pocket very nicely here right now. Oops, did not mean to move that. Realistically, yesterday we had a major rally up to this previous week high. We swept this previous week high, meaning, hey, rejection. Guess what? Short-lived, invalidated, came right back up, stopping out anyone that was taking a short here. Once again, we just chopped up sideways on this previous week high. Then the Asia trading session began. We once again got rejected. We fell out of the previous week high, came down, slow rejection here, came back up, big rejection off this previous day high, sweeping this area, signaling a larger reversal. And guess what? We did, but it was short-lived once again. Came down to our daily average, had an extremely strong bounce during the Asia and London sessions, and we bounced all the way up to 117.2. Got rejected off 117, fell back down below the previous week high of 116.7, and slowly we've been dripping down here now. During the New York session, we have finally come down to our gold pocket. We are filling it. We are bouncing off this gold pocket right now on the 15-minute. Could we have a push back up towards this daily average or daily VWAP? Absolutely, that's possible. That's on the cards. But things have just been not great. No real good setups here. Obviously, we could not short this as this was happening during the Asia and London trading session when majority of us, at least in the Eastern hemisphere over here, are sleeping. So this was the last good entry for a short. Then we got a rejection here off this heart line. A lot of sideways chop, and now we're getting a big 15-minute candle to the downside. We filled this gold pocket. Maybe people want to go long here, risk it for the biscuits. We have the quarterly VWAP right below, the weekly open right below at 115.29 right now. But realistically, there's a lot of risk here. I am in a personal swing long for Bitcoin, right? Low leverage, 12x, got in around the 115-ish area. We're currently back towards this. We're at 115.7 right now. I believe I entered somewhere around the 114.2, 114, yeah, around 114.2. So right below this weekly open is where I entered. We've come pretty much back almost to my entry point, but that's okay. It's a low leverage swing trade. I am realistically looking for a drop down to this 114, this weekly average that we still haven't hit after this major rejection here. We might not get it, but I think as we get closer, right now we haven't had a lot of price action movement during the New York session. But as we get closer to the interest rate cut meeting, right, to the actual FOMC meeting around 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be seeing a lot more price volatility, a lot more price action jumping up and down. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys right now watching. Make sure you are tapping those likes, smashing those likes, filling up those like meters if you're over on TikTok. Make sure you're smashing those up and getting more people in here as much as possible. Now, like I said, as the FOMC meeting happens, I do believe we're going to get steeper, quicker whiplash price action, and we could see a whiplash dropping us down to 114, hitting this weekly average before bouncing back up higher overall. Now, that being said, around that 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern time, I will be jumping back into the Citadel. I don't ever normally do this. The Citadel live trading sessions are normally in the morning only from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. when we get the most price action. But since today's FOMC meeting day, I know there's going to be a lot of price action happening later in the day. So we are going to be jumping back in there around the 1 to 2 p.m. and live trading the FOMC meeting in the Crypto Citadel. So make sure you guys are joining in there. There's less than 10 spots left. Less than 10 spots left at our current rate of $3.30 a day. After those spots are over, we are definitely going up higher. Flop knowledges. Attention, all traders. What's going on? What do you need my attention for? Justin Verse, what's going on? Says morning. WP, what's going on, buddy? Crypto Citadel OG in the house. We'll take a look at World Liberty Finance here in just a second. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Keep smashing those likes, everybody. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat. What do you think about that drop? That drop today is definitely something that we've been looking for. Literally, we're talking about it in the Crypto Citadel last night. As you guys can see here, daily charts last night, yesterday, 8:04 p.m. Eastern time. This is what I was looking for. A push to the previous day high, come down to this daily average, sideways chop, boom, down to the gold pocket. Guess what? That's exactly what the chart looks like. Except with the one big move to the upside over here. Outside of that is we got swept the previous day high, came down. We honestly over here, we chopped all the way up here, but then we chopped here this morning down to the gold pocket. I mean, the only way I could be more clear was using a glass, a crystal ball and seeing the future. So that setup has been playing out exactly how I said it was going to play out, and it's been playing out. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Now it's going to become the real test. Can this weekly open quarterly VWAP hold at 299? If it doesn't, 114 is on the books. It's coming in hot. And that's what I'm going to be looking for in the Crypto Citadel to be entering some, adding some more fuel to the fire here for the longs. The meeting's in how many hours time? It's currently 10:37 a.m. Eastern time. So it is around the 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m. is when Jerome Powell speaks. The interest rate cut decision will probably be announced around at 2 p.m. or, that 1:45-ish p.m. time, Eastern p.m. So that is when we're still a few hours away from that. Do you think we're going to go lower or get rejected? I think we're going to go lower here. I think 114 is definitely on the cards, and then we're going to potentially, overall, like I said, I am in a swing trade long for Bitcoin, which is something that we've been looking at here in the Crypto Citadel. Swing trades, low leverage, right? Entry is around 115,400 to 114 to 150 as the initial entry. These are the TPs that we're looking for to the upside. So I do plan on riding that long to the upside if we get it. And we hit some of these targets, just add some more margin to my long and let that bad boy ride. Let's jump over to World Liberty Finance. Everybody keeps asking about it, so we'll take a look at it here. World Liberty Finance realistically has just been chopping sideways. Nothing amazing has been happening here for World Liberty Finance. Let's jump down to the 1 hour. So World Liberty Finance here has hit our point of control of 20 cents. We are making higher lows. We're coiling up here. If we can get above the yearly VWAP of 22.5 cents, our big target to the upside is 25.5 cents. And then above that, we're just going to continue just blasting off towards its local highs of potentially 39 cents and then price discovery above that. But we're not going to see that unless we get above this yearly VWAP and actually hold it around the 22.5 cents. And if you're going to be trading World Liberty Finance, let me tell you, you better be using low leverage, guys. This is a very volatile altcoin. We still have a target to the downside that has remained unmet at 18 cents. So we could still drop lower. So be very low leverage on this thing. Do not be going 20x plus on the World Liberty Finance. You're going to get wrecked. You're definitely going to get wrecked if you start doing stuff like that. Bitcoin here, still trying to hold this gold pocket. What's going on, everybody? Did he talk about Worldcoin yet? I have not talked about Worldcoin yet. HUSDT, I don't even know what that is. Good to see everybody in here smashing those likes. How do I join the Citadel, bro? Is it in the bio? Yes, it's in the bio. It's in the profile. There's less than 10 spots left at the current rate. And then after that, we're going up to 149. So make sure you secure your spots now. Or if not, you're going to be paying a higher rate. So, yeah, let's go take a look at Worldcoin. Worldcoin. Worldcoin here on the good old Binance. Jump out here to the 1 hour, to the daily, I mean. So Worldcoin did exactly what I told you was going to happen when it ran up to this monthly average of $2.05. Had a massive rejection there. That was a big target that was just untapped for a long time. We've come back. We've filled our gold pocket here, right? Look at this gold pocket. Give me this. Filled our gold pocket. And now we're currently just consolidating. We're back within the overall downtrend that Worldcoin has been in all freaking year since the all-time high back in 24, right? When it topped out around like $12. It's been making nothing but lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And now we're just kind of chopping sideways here. So we're currently at $1.50. Can we come down to this yearly VWAP to find some support around $1.28 to $1.30? Absolutely, that definitely can happen. We need to get above $2.05 to hold that area of support to run for our next big target, which is its gold pocket up at 292. That is our next big target. Above 292, we do have a quarterly average at 438 and a yearly untapped average at $5. And then above that, we have a larger gold pocket at basically $8 and a monthly untapped average at 860. Those are the big targets to the upside. Are we going to hit all those targets realistically? Probably not. Probably not. I think we are getting ready here to enter one final altcoin season. Bitcoin dominance is going to have a major drop down into the low 50s, potentially even high 40s for Worldcoin to have any chance at reaching $5+. Now, 292 definitely possible on the next big altcoin rally, which is definitely steaming up and cooking here for the end of the year. As right now, we're currently up 7% on September, almost already beating our 2024 September, which is the highest return September in history so far. Are we going to beat that this September? Who knows? On top of that, October has an average of 21% returns. November has an average of 46% returns. That being said, are we going to wait for November for the complete top? Probably not. I do believe we're going to top out for Bitcoin at least somewhere in October-ish time, right? I think the next big rally is cooking. People are going to get overexcited for altcoin season. Alts have already been pumping, guys. Look at the past month here. The past month, MYX is up over 1,000%. Pump over 151. What the heck is this? Zcash up 40%. IMX up 28. Kronos up 56. Worldcoin up 58. Can they go higher? Absolutely, right? Can they go higher? Absolutely. Will they go higher in October? I do believe so. But a good chunk of altcoin seasons has already been happening. On the weekly and the monthly. Things have been pumping, right? So don't get distracted. On the yearly, look at things. Look at this. On the yearly, everything is up hundreds of percent on the yearly. Hundreds of percent. So that being said, if you don't believe altcoin season's been happening and you think that, it's about to start now, I'm showing you here, altcoin season has been happening. Things are up hundreds of percent over the last year. So just keep that in mind. We'll take a look at Jasmine in just a second. Let's go take a look at Jasmine here. Then we'll come back to good old Biddy, Ethereum, Solana, and some of the larger coin stuff. Jasmine right here. World Liberty Finance. World Liberty Finance. It's like just keeps coming into my head. World Liberty Finance. So Jasmine here. Haven't updated this chart in a while, but pretty much hasn't really done jack squat ding dong, to be honest. Hasn't really done too much at all here. Has been continuously holding below the yearly VWAP, like a lot of these altcoins that have just been completely demolished. It's currently sitting at basically 1.5 cents. We need to get above the quarterly VWAP here of 1.5 cents. We're currently at 1.04. and the quarterly VWAP is at exactly 1.5 cents. So getting above this area, running towards this yearly VWAP of basically almost 2 cents is very critical. Once we do that, we do have some targets to the upside between 2.5 to basically 3 cents for Jasmy. The local high back in December was 5, almost 6 cents to the upside. So I don't think we're going to revisit those levels. I'm not a big Jasmy holder or believer. Don't really waste too much time trading this asset, but anything's possible. It's definitely on the lows. Bitcoin struggling to hold this gold pocket here at 115, 486. Hopefully we can find support here, start bouncing off this area and climbing back up. Like I said, I'm already in the long. The higher we go, the better for me, but I still do believe that there's a chance we come down to 114 to 1. Fine. What do you think would be a good limit order for Solana and XRP for today? Yes, Princesa. Let's see here. So let's go take a look at Solana and XRP. Good old Solana. What are you doing, silly?
Sitting at the fire, silly goose.
You're a silly goose. Just sounds like a big fart.
It looks like.
You're silly. Let's silly goose. Today is Wednesday. All right, let's get Tuesday's price action. Tuesday all the way through Wednesday. You silly goose. Stop farting, silly. All right, so Solana here right now, right? It's currently within its previous day range, sitting right on the Asia and London lows, trying to hold these areas. If it doesn't, our next target to the downside would be this weekly average and previous day low around 231. For Solana, Solana's currently at 234. Targets to the upside, right, for Solana is we need to break above 238 to start running for this previous day high of 240. Above 240, we have between 243 and this 247 target that we've already tapped earlier this week. 247 is very critical. That's where we got rejected from. Getting above 247 does open up the gateway to run for the all-time high of 295 for Solana. Let's see here. Now, limit orders. Somebody was talking about limit orders here. If we zoom out to the daily.
I'm back. Someone opened the door again.
Where's your mom?
Outside.
Go outside with mommy.
No, I don't want to.
Why?
I want to play with my toys.
You're a silly goose.
You can hear Amy's voice.
Welcome to my life, guys. Welcome to my life. All right, so limit order wise, we do have a weekly point of control down at 215-ish. That would be an area of interest to be jumping into for Solana to capture some areas. Another area to the downside would be 191. I don't expect Solana to drop so drastically from 237 to 119 to 191. That's an 18% drop. Maybe to this weekly point of control of 215. That's an 8% drop. If Bitcoin does have a significant drop down to 114 or lower, maybe. But Bitcoin dominance has been remaining pretty low overall, so I don't expect any drastic drops for Solana. Solana's been holding up very, very well here to the upside. Now, let's go take a look at XRP. XRP here very similar thing, right? Where we've been talking about a potential move to the upside, breaking a market structure, but so far we are still within the downtrend, right? We're still within the downtrend. We topped out around 318 on Saturday, and then we've come back down towards this point of control around $3. We're trying to hold that area. If we drop today, we could drop down to 293, maybe even as low as 287 if we have a significant drop in altcoins along with Bitcoin. But to get XRP to run to the upside, we need to break market structure. We need to get above 318 to 335. That area is critical to break above. That would break the market structure of this downtrend. Then we will have our local target of 366 to the upside. Above that, we're running for 416 for XRP. Now, worst case scenario, you guys already know, we're looking for 252 to as low as 233 for a major drop for XRP if that were to occur, which I'm not expecting. Biddy dropping a little bit lower here. Dropping a little bit lower. This gold pocket doesn't seem to be holding up too well. We're gonna be seeing how it reacts to this weekly open quarterly VWAP here at 115,300. Do you feel like the bull run is over? No, I don't believe the bull run is over. I believe we've got one more blow off top. September is usually not even a bullish month, guys. September historically is a bearish month, and we are currently up 7% in September. So, no, I don't believe the bull run is over. No, I do believe. Yes, I do believe we're going to hit a new all-time high before the end of this year. The question is when exactly, and that's what the Crypto Citadel is preparing for. The Crypto Citadel is game planning on riding some low leverage longs to one final big all-time high, and then flipping the script and going low leverage short on the good majority of altcoins and Bitcoin so that we can ride that bad boy down to the ground. So one last big move to the upside is very likely here. And that is what the Crypto Citadel is preparing for right now. Thank you by your patience and service, man. Nice to see that. My first time here. Good to see you, Ben. ISO 2022, what about them? What about ISO 200? Let's keep going through the chat here. Link, let's go take a look at Link. We'll take a look at Litecoin as well. Good old Chainlink. Let it load here real quick. So Chainlink, obviously, been struggling. Fell back out of its uptrend, right? When it came out to $27, everybody thought it was going to blast off to the moon. I've been telling you, Chainlink is a slow mover. It's probably not going to go as high as most people want it to go. People want it to be like at $100+. Realistically, I don't see that happening. I'd be happy if we get to 34, between $34 to $47. I'd be happy with that for Chainlink. But Chainlink right now, topping out, right? Again, making a lower high from its high in August, making a lower high here in September of $25, dropping back down. If we lose $22, targets to the downside are between 21 to 19. Worst case, we come back down towards $16. Now, I don't expect altcoins to drop this hard, this fast, unless Bitcoin tops out completely and just collapses, right? And drops below 110 kind of area. So, I do believe Chainlink will recover. It's just Chainlink kind of really sucks on pumping overall, but I do expect it to recover. Hopefully we can get above $29 and run between $34 to $47 to the upside for Chainlink. Now moving on over to Litecoin. Good old Litecoin. LTC. What do you see? All right, so Litecoin here has been in a slight uptrend overall to the upside. Let me turn some of these indicators off. Has been in a slight uptrend here, right? Holding above this upper band of this uptrend. We need to get above the quarter one point of control of 127. And once we can get above 127 and hold above it, our next big target is 146. Above 146, we have targets between 164 to as high as $207 for Litecoin. Now, to the downside, if Litecoin loses support here on this quarterly and yearly VWAP between $112 to $107, targets to the downside are going to be $100. Obviously, that's going to be a critical area. That area is lost. We could be heading back down towards $75. like I said, not expecting any of these major drops to occur for altcoins unless Bitcoin really just tanks. Bitcoin having a nice little pump to the upside, baby. Having a nice little pump here. Nothing to fully celebrate just yet, but it's nice. It's nice to see after seeing so much red for the last couple of hours. Just massive red to the downside. We come to our gold pocket, and now we're bouncing up from our gold pocket. That's good to see. That is good to see. That's good news here, right? If we don't get to this 114, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm okay with it. If we get it, even better. I'm already in my long, so I want this thing to go to 130 today. Today, guys. I want it to go to 130. Now, is that going to happen realistically? Probably not. Probably not. 100 million liquidity at 114,450 Bitcoin heat map. Let me see. I don't really follow the heat map too much, man. Too many people follow the heat map. It's become too mainstream. Every big streamer is looking at the heat map. Everyone's always looking at the heat map, and it plays out, and everybody thinks you're like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and that is all you need to become a trader and know where liquidity is and things are gonna. Let me tell you, man, that heat map is gonna get people wrecked. When things like that become too mainstream that it's so easy to follow, that is when a quick left turn happens and you miss the bus. There's also major liquidity up at 120 as well, to pretty much liquidate all the shorts. So there's definitely, I saw something about the heat map also having major target to the upside around the 120. You selling everything after next bull run? I'm selling everything in this bull run. I'm selling everything, right? I'm selling everything. Every single altcoin. I don't care how great. I don't care how bullish. I don't care how great the narrative, how much use case it has. They're all going away. I'm selling everything. And I will start to accumulate my profits. I'm going to pay my taxes. And then when we get into the next big, large bear market, which I do believe could be happening at some point throughout 2026, right? I'm not going to give you any exact dates or anything like that, but I do believe we're going for one last big run, and then we're going to potentially be coming down, right? Like how we did when we hit 124, 125, one big run, and then came right back down hard. I think we're going to see something like that, but more in the likes of quarter one, right? We're in quarter one of 2025. Altcoins dropped 80+%. Since then, altcoins have been recovering massively since then. Have they all hit new all-time highs? No, but it has been recovering massively since then. That being said, it's only a matter of time before altcoins drop 80+% again. So on this next big move for Bitcoin to the upside, I am going to be selling all of my altcoins. I don't care how bullish XRP is. Plus, I don't hold XRP, but I don't care how great XRP is. I don't care how great Virtuals is. I don't care how great SUI is. I'm selling all of it because what did we see when quarter one of 2025 happened? SUI came all the way down to like $1 something, right? From $5 to $1 something. Why? Because it doesn't matter how bullish, how much adoption, how much this, how great the fundamentals are. Things crash. Aero went from $2 all the way down to like 40 cents, right? Major drop. You think I'm gonna ride that Aero down like that again? Absolutely not. I'm selling everything. Can it go higher? Absolutely. I can always leave a moon bag and let it go higher. By the time I sell out, that's fine. But I'm taking profits and I'm gonna wait for the next big drop, and then I'm gonna be looking to start accumulating. And I'm not gonna be accumulating all these altcoins in spot only. I'm going to be doing low leverage 2x, 3x longs, right? So that I can ride that bad boy up with less capital at play and be able to ride it up as high and make even more profit on the way up. So just things to be keeping an eye on. Definitely going to be planning on taking some big shorts as we reach the next big top. Like I said, it's all part of the game plan in the Crypto Citadel right now. I can't reveal everything that we're game planning in there because that is what the Crypto Citadel is about, right? If I just revealed everything we're doing in there, then what's the point of you guys joining? So, but we do have a major game plan on when the potential top could be coming in, when to be looking out for that window in time, and potentially taking some profits and then start jumping into some swing trade shorts. Right now we're loading up our swing trade longs to ride it up to one last big hurrah, and then we're going to be flipping on over to some low leverage shorts to ride it back down. When is Jerome Powell cutting rates? Well, today's the day, my man, Frank the Great. Today is the day, supposedly, right? Allegedly. Today's the day the announcement is going to be made. It happens later today around 1:45 to 2 p.m. Eastern is when the announcement is made. And then Jerome Powell comes out and actually speaks around 2:30-ish time. So around that time frame, I will be jumping back into the Crypto Citadel, and we will be trading live during the FOMC meeting to be able to manage expectations of what is happening with Bitcoin and altcoins overall during that time frame. Right now, currently, I am looking for a drop down to 114.1. I definitely expected to see a big price movement, big price volatility as the interest rate cuts are actually announced, which will be happening later around the 119 to 121 and drop, my opinion. It's possible, Ben. It's possible. We're looking for targets for Bitcoin to the upside, right? We have another set of targets here. Between 117, we have a 60-day NPOC at 117, practically 118. We have some weekly NPOCs and weekly averages up at 120. Above 120, we have a big gap that runs right towards the previous and the all-time high of 123 to 124. So there is a possibility that we run it up to 120, 118, 120, top out and pull back. That is a possibility for sure, which is why in our swing trade for Bitcoin, one of our first TPs is 118. Our second TP is 122, right? So we are game planning for that possibility if that were to occur. So, yeah. Can you do AVAX, please? Yeah, let's go take a look at AVAX. Good old AVAX. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. If you're watching here for the first time, definitely appreciate it. So AVAX has finally had a big breakout this last week or so, right? We've been rejected off $26 for months. Right, we got rejected in May. We got rejected in July. We got rejected in July twice. We got rejected in August. And now on September 10th, we actually broke through, right? We broke through the quarterly average of $26, came up to this weekly average and block of resistance between 28 to about as high as $30. If we can flip $30 to $31 into support and break out of this uptrend to, even higher uptrend, the next target here to the upside, once we're above $30, is $36 to $41. That's our next big targets for AVAX. Above $41, we do have a target between 51 to 54. Above that, we have legacy targets between 71. When I say legacy, I mean targets from back in 2021 that are between $71 to as high as his all-time high of 147. Are we going to hit 147 for AVAX before the end of this year? Probably not. But I do expect it to hit somewhere between $41 to $51 for AVAX for sure. I took a look at, oh man, ICP, man, just hit me where it hurts. I hate looking at ICP. ICP just been a long-term holder of ICP. This thing has been in the dumps, in the dumpity dump. So overall, ICP has just been in the absolute lows of lows, complete dump, no real price action, can barely sustain holding above $6. We're currently sitting at 468. We need to get above this yearly VWAP. This yearly VWAP is currently around 628. We need to break above that area, hold that area, so we can hit some larger targets to the upside. If we can do that, targets to the upside are between $7 to $10.50. Right, and then above that we have a target at $11.55, which is a gold pocket. Above that we have $15. $15 has been massive resistance all of 2024. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we got rejected off $15 and then dumped. Right, 5 times. So if ICP can get anywhere near $7 to $10. I'm selling my ICP bag, man. I'm tired of holding this thing. It's just been dead weight in my portfolio. So if we can get anywhere between 1061 to 761 to 1050, I'm selling my ICP bag. I don't care if it goes to $100 after that. I'm tired of holding this thing. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin still trying to hold, trying to hold support here, trying to hold support here on this gold pocket. Eduardo, thank you, no problem. What's going on, Energy? What's going on, everybody? Can you do Pepe and Fartcoin? Oh, you guys just know how to get me going. Good old meme coins. All right, let's go take a look at Pepe first, and then we'll take a look at Fartcoin. Pepe here. Still in his downtrend overall. Still making lower highs overall. Holding on the quarterly average right now of 1062. We need to break market structure and get above 1391 so that we can run for some larger targets here for Pepe between 1741 to 2029. Those are the big targets to the upside for Pepe. Now, if we can't, right, and we continue going lower, big targets to the downside for Pepe are 081 to 033. Those are big down targets. I don't expect that to happen right now, because we are expecting an overall push to the upside, but, you know, be on the lookout for 1391 to 1741 to the upside for Pepe if we have a breakout. Looking at good old Fartcoin. Let's go take a look here. Let this thing load. Let me update this chart. This chart is super outdated. All right, so Fartcoin been pretty much in a sideways consolidation, slightly up, but very much just sideways consolidation here throughout the Q2 and Q3 so far. We're currently sitting at 83 cents. We need to get above $1.13, get above this quarterly VWAP. This quarterly VWAP will be resetting at the end of September, though. But meanwhile, we hold above the yearly VWAP. It is bullish. The yearly VWAP is at 71 cents for Fartcoin. So staying above the yearly is important. Holding support here and bouncing back up, looking at targets between 113 to 124. And then we've been topping out around this upper band of this sideways trend. So the next area, if we come back up here again, will be about 164. If we can break 164, targets to the upside around the 198 to 185 to 198, but probably 164 will probably be another local top here for Fartcoin if we even get that high. Let's keep an eye on Biddy here. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Hey bro, what do you think about AVAX? I just covered AVAX a few minutes ago. We'll circle back to AVAX in a second. What's going on, G? Can you check Gala? Oh man, Gala's been the tank. So Gala's been in a major downtrend, right? Major downtrend. Let's jump out to the weekly here because this thing is just not going anywhere. Major downtrend since 2024, right? 2024, we ran all the way up to about 8 cents. We made another lower high on December around 6, almost 7 cents. Since then, we've been rallying. We've been dumping, right? We've just been going down. If we get another major rally, another potential lower high here, somewhere around 4.5 to potentially 5 cents, maybe 3.5 cents max for this lower high trend to continue. The only way that we go higher is if we break this market structure and get above 6.5 cents, which I realistically don't really see that happening for Gala. So realistic targets for Gala to the upside, if we break out of this downtrend and get above our yearly VWAP of 2 cents, is 2.5 to 3.5 cents to the upside are our targets here for Gala. Biddy still fighting the good fight here, trying to hold support here at this gold pocket, at this lower band of this uptrend that we're currently in here this week. So still fighting, still holding support here. ETF for XRP going live tomorrow. Is it going to bring the price of XRP down? First off, I haven't heard any news about an XRP ETF going actually live tomorrow. So I don't know how accurate that is or not. Can't really speak on it. So we'll just have to wait and see if it's going to actually pump it or not. If you're expecting XRP to have some type of like detachment from Bitcoin and do something completely different, yes, it might have a short-term rally like we've seen it before when it rallied up to $3.66 when the news about the court case pretty much being dropped happened. And then since then, it's been following Bitcoin very closely again. So could it have a rally if that rumor were to be true, which I highly doubt because I haven't really seen anything about that. I think I would have seen something about that by now with how culty the XRP community is. I think I would see them bragging about their ETF going live tomorrow all over the place, and I haven't. So I don't know if that's accurate, but maybe I'm wrong. So if it were to be true, yes, you could see a short-term rally potentially, but then I expect it to follow Bitcoin closely once again. Let's see here. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Bitcoin going down or up, down or up. Right now we are holding this gold pocket. We are holding the lower band of this uptrend. We are holding support here. We're still far away from the actual interest rate cut announcement. I do expect a lot more price volatility as we approach that time period, which would be around 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern time when they make the announcement, and then Jerome Powell speaks around 2:30 p.m. Eastern. So I do expect some more whiplashing around that period in time. Currently sitting at this level here, right? Not a lot of price volume pushing us up. So I do expect that there might be a possibility that we whip it down real quick to this previous day low all the way down to the weekly average of 114, scoop up some liquidity, sweep the lows, and then run it back up. That is what I think might be happening. I am in a low leverage long for Bitcoin. So, you know, if we come down here, I'll just add more to my long, and hopefully we can continue to ride it back up to the upside later in September, as September has been overall very bullish. Let's see here, making sure I'm not missing anybody. So all in today to Bitcoin in long. I'm not all in. I'm in a low leverage 12x long. So I believe my liquidation point is down now like 108. So very low liquidation price point. I have plenty of time to be able to dollar cost average into my long if I need to, or just cut my losses before liquidation on that long. But overall, I'm just preparing myself for a low leverage trade to be able to ride it up towards those all-time highs without getting liquidated, because there is going to be a lot of volatility. I know everybody wants to trade Bitcoin at 20x. People want to trade it at 50x, 40x, 100x, right, to catch those big moves. And realistically, all you're going to do is get wrecked, because the volatility is going to be so fast. People are going to be getting stopped out left and right. It doesn't matter if you're shorting or longing. Those high leverage trades on high whiplash days like FOMC meeting days are literally how people get liquidated every single day. And we'll see headlines about how much liquidations happened in an hour due to the FOMC meeting, yada, yada. We'll see them. I'll be like, I told you so. So any trade that we're doing on Bitcoin today in the Crypto Citadel will be low leverage. We'll be adding to our low leverage long or entering into low leverage shorts. But realistically, we're not going to be shorting at this point in time. The entries to go in to go short were back here that happened during the Asia and London trading session when we were mostly all sleeping. So didn't really get a good entry point for a short overall. So right now, just waiting for it to come lower. If it does, we stack into the long. If we bottom out here at this 114.4, which is the gold pocket, and we pump it to 120, fantastic. We're already in our long. We've been game planning this. This is what we've been talking about in the Crypto Citadel, right? We've been game planning this trade here. So it's all about the game plans, my friends. It's all about the game plans. Ghost says XRP ETF is going live. Can somebody give me a source where this is being posted or this is being talked about? Because I haven't heard anyone talking about an XRP ETF going live tomorrow. What's up with Ethereum? Let's go take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's pretty much just chopping sideways here at this point, just waiting for Bitcoin to decide what it's going to do. Yeah. Straight up sideways chop here. Sideways chop. We have a daily MPOC that's still unmet. down here at 44.15. We do have a weekly MPOC down at 43.10, which is an area of interest that I'm looking for as well. If Ethereum drops down here for whatever reason, would be inclined to take a potential swing trade, low leverage swing trade on ETH, anywhere between 43 to 41 for ETH to ride it back up, but we will see if we're going to get it or not. It's gonna dump. I sold everything. Massive crash coming. Maybe you're right, but I don't think so. Maybe you're right. Maybe your crystal ball told you the answer, but I don't think so, man. I think you're wrong. Rex Osprey to launch the first U.S. listed ETFs offering spot exposure to XRP and Doge tomorrow. Let me look this up. U.S. based XRP ETF launching 2025. Let's see here. Expected to begin September 18. This launches U.S. security, yada, yada, yada. Oh, how have I not heard of this? Dogecoin ETF to launch this week in another altcoin milestone. So we're getting a Dogecoin and an XRP ETF. Gosh, they're bagging XRP next to Dogecoin. Haven't I been telling you guys that XRP is the Dogecoin from 2021? XRP in 2025 is what Dogecoin was in 2021. It's wild. Now that the XRP price is the first US spot XRP Dogecoin to begin trading this week. Interesante. Very interesting. Maybe they're getting ready for that big blast off that I'm talking about with Bitcoin. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Rex Osprey. I never even heard of them. I don't know what institution that is. It's definitely none of the big Bitcoin or ETH institutions. So very, very different. Let's see here. VeChain play. Definitely we've been looking at a VeChain play, a swing trade for VeChain. Was one of the slower moving assets this bull run overall, but there are some potential critical targets between 3 cents to as high as 5 cents that could be very, very beneficial. I made a video about it recently over on my tubes. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do so. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe, guys. If you haven't joined the Crypto Citadel, I definitely urge you guys to join. Spots are running out. There's less than 8 spots left before the price tiers change and increase. So definitely, if you're interested, if you've been interested, if you've been watching these streams, if you want to get more, in-depth game plans of potential swing trades, where the market is headed, live trading sessions, my trading course to learn how to use the strategy that I use, and much more, and be part of the community. Now's the time to lock in before increases. Then I don't want to hear, oh, is there a discount? Oh, can you match me the previous tier? I've been a long-term follower. I'm warning you guys. I've been warning you guys all month long. Time is running out. Let's see here. How do you mark out daily and monthly ranges on the chart? I use volume profiles, guys. I use volume profiles. If you don't know how to use volume profiles, you can YouTube it, Google it, I guess. I have a full 1-hour trading course that explains this exact same thing in depth. Five videos, 1 hour long, explains everything that I use, all the indicators that I use here on the chart that you're seeing, how they're used, why do I use them, and the whole critical thinking process behind them and what they each mean. People want to know where Dogecoin is going, man. Let's go tell you where Dogecoin is going. I'm going to tell you where Dogecoin is going, man. Dogecoin is going to outpace XRP. That's right. I said it. Dogecoin is better than XRP, guys. So Dogecoin here overall came up to a critical target here. Give me a second. Didn't sleep well last night. Never do. Came up to a critical fib here of 382 at 28 cents. We hit the heart line of this uptrend. We came up as high as 30 cents, got rejected, came back down. We're currently sitting at 26 cents once again. Meanwhile, we stay above 25 to 24 cents. We are good for the Dogecoins to continue pumping. Once we can break above 28 cents, targets to the upside remain the same between 32 to 39 cents. We've got weekly MPOC, monthly average, gold pocket, another gold pocket. We have lots of levels between 32 cents to 39 cents. Now, assuming we can get through the 39-cent level, we have a legacy level from back in 2021 at 52 cents. We haven't even reached 52 cents all of 2024 when we've had some of the biggest rallies ever. Dogecoin has still not been able to reach its legacy 2021 point of control NPOC of 52 cents. Are we going to do it this time? Who knows, right? We got an ETF coming tomorrow, apparently, right? Maybe. But I'm aiming for 32 to 39 cents. That's where I'm taking some profits and I'm creating a moon bag and letting the rest ride. XRP 400%. You better hope so. Do you think XRP will boost with the ETF thing tomorrow, depending on interest rate cuts today? If Bitcoin starts pumping, which I definitely think Bitcoin will continue to pump after these interest rate cuts, even if we have a dump today, I do believe we're going to recover and continue pumping later into September and into October. That being said, I do believe that will obviously also lead altcoins to pump. Bitcoin dominance right now is slightly dropping. We're currently negative 0.12% today, right? Overall down 0.2% on Bitcoin dominance. I do believe Bitcoin dominance is going to start dropping, falling below 58% again to, potentially low 50s, maybe high 40s, and definitely letting altcoins run. Can you do SUI, Nicole? Yeah, let's go take a look at SUI here. Good old SUI. SUI here, just hanging out on the lower side of our uptrend, currently sitting at 356. Can we come down to 318? Absolutely. Will it still be bullish? Absolutely. Targets to the upside still remain the same. 481 is the target to the upside. We have been making lower highs, right? We had a high back in July of 444. We had a high back in August of 417. And we currently have a high now of 387. We need to break this market structure, get above this heart line around 420-ish area, and start running for that 481 as our big target to the upside for SUI. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. It's the first time here. What are you waiting for? Let's see here. Let's go. People want to look at Crow. Knows, man. Crow was so boring. Nobody cared about Crow until that big announcement was made. Before then, nobody cared about Crow. Where's my rest of my chart? The heck? All right, let me update this chart here. All right. So Chronos here overall. Let me turn this off. Big targets here for Chronos, right? We got above our quarterly average of around 23 cents. We're currently dropping slightly below it right now after running all the way up to 38 cents, almost hitting an untapped average of 39.5 cents, right? Front ran that, fell back down. If we can continue to hold support here and build support around this quarterly average of 23 cents, and we have another major rally, obviously 39 cents is still a target. Above 39 cents, we have 59 cents as a target for Chronos. Are we going to hit those targets? I don't know, right? This big move, Chronos has been in a major slump, right? Hasn't had any type of major rally since 2021. All of 2022 was down. All of 2023 was pretty much sideways. 2024, sideways. It topped out around 23 cents in 2024. And 2025 has been nothing but sideways as well. The only reason we've had any significant pump was because of the headline that the Trump team was going to be working with Chronos to create, I forget what it was now. And they were buying like Chronos for their treasury, yada, yada. And that's what pumped the price so much. And then it dumped it right after, right? So are we going to go to 59 cents? Unless there's maybe if there's some more big headlines of something happening, then maybe we can run it back up to towards that 39 to 59 cents. But without headlines, I don't really see Chronos going anywhere to the upside, because this was all fueled by that one major headline. Outside of that, Chronos hasn't moved since 2021. Bitcoin here just completely chopping sideways here at this gold pocket. Everything's hinging on this interest rate cut, my friends. Everything's hinging on this interest rate cut. Are we going to make it to new all-time highs before the end of October? All going to be dependent on what happens here very, very soon. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. If you don't want to miss the live trading session for the FOMC meeting today, make sure you're joining the Crypto Citadel. There is less than 8 spots left for you guys to join at the current rate. After that, price increases. I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can to get all of you guys in there. I spend many, many hours every single day in there. Doing lots of different game planning, from swing trades to short daytime trades, signals, live trading sessions, entire courses. So it's all going to be really dependent on your discipline. Are you disciplined enough to become a trader? Are you motivated enough to become a trader? Can you psychologically control your emotions and prepare yourself mentally and get the right mindset to grind through the process of becoming a trader? Because it's not going to be just join the Crypto Citadel and in 2 weeks you're the world's greatest trader out there. It's not going to be like that. It's going to take a very long time for things to click, and you're going to have to continuously grind and grind and grind, and you're going to lose a lot of trades. You're going to lose a lot of trades. You're going to lose a lot of nights of sleep. You're going to lose a lot of hours grinding and learning. But if you can get through all of that, on the other side is a lifetime of becoming a profitable trader, where you can have this as a supplemental income for the rest of your life, or maybe even replace your full-time 9-to-5 job, right? So it's all really dependent on you. And if you're not dedicated, if you're not motivated, if you're not up for it, if you're not about it, if you're not for the grind, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. But guys, like always, I'm Blockchain Crusader, Crusader 3's Blockchains. I see all of you guys in there in the Crypto Citadel. Links down below in the profile. Join now. Last chance before all the spots are gone, and you're going to have to be kicking yourself later when you're paying a higher rate. Guys, I'm Blockchain Crusader, Crusader 3's Blockchains, and I'll see you in the Crypto Citadel. See ya.